Coldwell Banker. My name is Jonna Ricci, and I am the Regional Vice President for the West region in the Central West area for Coldwell Banker Realty. I could not be happier to be here. Welcome to the fourth installment of View from the Top, how agents are driving growth through social media. I feel an enormous #gratitude, sense of gratitude for being here today, for being able to reach out to so many of you, and for so many of you to take a vested interest in growing your business. I want to make a point to say thank you to each of our panelists, Caleb, Bridget, Joseph, and Kelly. Thank you so much for being here this morning. What I found as I started doing some, let's just call it research about you all, is that you inspired me. You inspired me because you are committed to your industry, and you're passionate about it, and you're joyful in what you put out through social media. So before we get started, a couple of things for our audience, everyone out there. Feel free to use the chat and go ahead and place your questions in the chat, and we will go ahead and reserve about 5 minutes at the conclusion to address any of the questions. So without further ado, here we go. Let's rock and roll. I'm going to turn it over to our panelists for a brief introduction. Bridget Salela, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you. We would love for you to share a little bit about who you are, the market you serve, the niche, and how long you've been in the business, and your preferred social media platform.
Awesome. So I have a 50-50 partnership with my business partner, Walt Burrell, and we own the Ville team here in Naperville. Our niche is the luxury market. Obviously, we love that market. It's our real house. We have grown to love downtown Naperville, where we all live and reside. And Facebook, I think, is my favorite form of my platform that I like to use.
Okay, thanks, Bridget. So now I want to turn it over to Caleb. Caleb is joining us from our Minnesota company. Can you give us a little bit of your history, how long you've been in the business, your favorite social media platform, your niche, are you on a team? Just some details that you could share with the audience.
Yeah, good morning. I'm coming from the Plymouth office, Coldwell Banker Realty, Minnesota. This is my, I want to say, 5th year full-time. I run the Three Rivers real estate team. Our team, or my niche, and we kind of do it all, right? We definitely specialize on the West Metro, I guess, which the cool thing is it could be a $100,000 condo or a $2 million house on the lake. So we kind of, our niche is our location for sure. We do a lot of geo farming. And my favorite social media is probably the Facebook and Instagram suites.
Okay. Thank you. We're happy to have you, Caleb.
Yeah.
Joseph Felling, welcome. Joining us from Texas.
Welcome, everyone. Yes. Joseph Felling is from Dallas, Texas area. I've been in real estate coming on about 5 years now, full time. Same thing like Caleb. I don't really have like a niche other than, like, I would say first time home buyers, because that's who I project my social media with, is first time home buyers. But I am on the Make Your Move team here in the Coldwell Banker office in Lakewood. So thank you for having me.
And Joseph, do you have a preferred platform?
Oh, TikTok, all the way, without question.
All right, Joseph, thanks for being here. And I also want to introduce to you Kelly Ladwick, who's out of our Chicago region. Kelly, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so I am out of the Lincoln Park office. I serve the city and the suburbs, so I'm from Chicago. I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I would say I don't really have like a niche per se. I work with a lot of first-time home buyers, and that's kind of what grew my business. And then now those are becoming second home buyers, so I kind of have a good mix. But my platform is Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you. So once again, thank you all for being here. and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So Bridget, I'm going to turn this one over to you, getting started. How long has social media been a part of your business?
I've been doing this for 8 years. When we started the Ville team 8 years ago, it was immediate for us. We actually, when we launched our team, we had a big launch party at one of our local restaurants in the downtown area, and we blew it up all over social media.
Okay.
So I think it's always been really made a big impact for us. I mean, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at the time we started with. Since we've kind of gotten away from Twitter, we've added TikTok, which, to be honest, my children are not really happy that I'm on TikTok, but oh well, right? But that's kind of where we're at, but it's always been in the forefront for us. Absolutely. I mean, what a great way to advertise, and it doesn't really cost anything, right?
Yep, 100%. So let me take that a little bit further. In terms of, I understand it's been a part of your business since you started, but how has it changed in terms of what you post or how you post, or has there been an evolution of your social media over the last 8 years?
I feel like there has, when Walt and I first started, I was doing all the social media, and I did that probably up until about the middle of last year. So not only was I selling, I was also doing the social media aspect, which was a lot of time. I'm a little bit of a control freak, so it was hard for me to let go of that marketing, because I feel like marketing is huge and essential, and it's one of the most important things in your business. So Walt finally talked me into hiring a full-time marketing director. So we did that last year. It has changed everything that we do. I thought I knew how to market. She's fabulous. She really knows how to market. She, the fonts, the coloring, I mean, everything is so important that I really wasn't paying much attention to last time. Gaining more followers. Also, she's so good at, she's actually an Instagram influencer, which helps us a lot as well too. But she's definitely taken us to a whole nother level, and it's a full-time job. And I see that now, it's important to have somebody doing that for you.
Thank you. Caleb, thoughts on that?
Same question.
Same question.
Definitely day one, immediate, right? I entered what was full-time like 2017. Social media is pretty big at that point. But I would say every 6 months it kind of changes. So whether you're hiring somebody or using yourself, those algorithms are changing. Reels became big on Instagram, for example. You're constantly evolving it, and that means either you're doing it or you're hiring someone or doing a bunch of the research yourself.
Great, thank you. Joseph, anything else additionally you'd like to opine on?
Yeah, I mean, I started during the peak of COVID. I think once the pandemic was in full force, I was ready to admit defeat because I was not on social media like I am now. So it's either I could continue watching Tiger King or get off my butt and go do something. So I created this platform. It was my 4th video, and I filmed a pool, and it got 200,000 views. And I'm just like, light bulbs. Wow, there's something here. So 10,000 followers, a 16 million view video later, and I have 150,000 followers. Yes, it's definitely evolves. I would say every 3 months, 3 to 6 months, you have to be on the trend. And if you're not on the trend, you have to be creating your own trend. I definitely started changing a lot of how I do stuff when I noticed how everybody is copying me. They're doing the same. I always do the same thing. This is what $500,000 will get you in Dallas, Texas.
Yep.
And once I started seeing that over and over, I had to pivot. So I'm kind of like shipping up how I film my videos now. So yeah, you have to stay ahead of it.
Awesome, Joseph. Thank you. Kelly, we'd love to hear your take on this as well.
Yeah. So social media has been kind of my bread and butter from the start. I got licensed in college, didn't really have the money to be spending on marketing or, other kind of lead gen at the time. So the fact that it was basically free for me to put myself out there, but it definitely has evolved. I mean, I'll go back and I see like my first post, and it's kind of cringy, and like how like you kind of build your brand up over time. But I think a lot of it is social media is basically like you and yourself and your brand voice. So as like you evolve and you change in different like stages in your career and life, like that's reflected and it kind of comes across that way. So I think it's a natural progression along with, of course, like the trends and staying on top of everything.
Awesome. Thank you all for that. I want to pivot a little bit and talk about just in general, right? We know the world is getting smaller and smaller, right? I think we can all agree to that. And a lot of that has to do with social media. It's really bringing people together. So how do you leverage social media outside of your market area to capture business? Can I go ahead and anybody in particular want to jump in on that?
I'll interject. I just post daily, and I think that's how I can reach other people from across the world. I mean, I'll never forget, I had Evelyn call me, 78-year-old grandma from California, saying, I watched your TikTok. And I was like, this is done kidding me right now. But that's how I engage. I mean, that's how I get my California buyers, my Florida buyers, and perfect time because a lot of people were moving to Texas during that stage. So, and they're still doing it. So being consistent, that's my key.
Caleb, do you have anything to opine on about that?
I call myself a ship builder, meaning relationship builder. So to me, outside of new business, I think Facebook and Instagram are it's the most organic CRM out there. And CRMs are important, but I love the organic side of it, whether it's birthdays or congratulations or, hey, I haven't seen that person in a while. So I usually dedicate a big chunk of my day to, hey, I'm going to hit 50 people in my feeds. And those are usually your A+ people anyways, the people that are doing business with you or sending business to you. Mm-hmm. So that would be my kind of spin on that question is it's a great way to continue to leverage yourself, be everywhere at the same time, and keep building and curating those relationships.
So Bridget, I know you mentioned you have an emphasis on the Lux market. So how are you leveraging that in terms of capturing leads with social today?
I think, Tim Smith, right, out of Newport Beach, California. We were just there for spring break, but he did us a great job with his videos. And I think when we first started, we would watch a lot of those videos and kind of see how he would put socialites in the videos. He would put, different, car businesses and things in the video as well, too. So we started doing that a little bit here where we built relationships with, Porsche dealerships, Chicago Motor Cars. We have something by us called the Iron Gate, which is all car condos that people actually pay for to house their sports cars and things. And those relationships that we built with them, we then started doing things like Luxury in the Ville, which is something that we do every single summer. We do it on the street in front of our luxury homes where we shut down the street. We invite cars, people that can afford the price point, that can afford the cars. Hopefully they can afford the house. And we have a huge event for that. It's a big, huge open house. We actually do a car rally from Iron Gate to our luxury home. So it's a really neat way of introducing and meeting all of those luxury buyers. And, it's all over social media, obviously, as well, too. So I think that's one of our fun events that we do in the summer.
Excellent. So Kelly, I know we'd love to hear from you. How are you leveraging it to capture opportunities outside of your market area by means of potentially referrals or connecting with brokers outside of the area?
Yeah.
Also, so I look at, hi, Greg.
I look at social media kind of like a way, like an open book to me, essentially, like a way to like show my life and my personality and kind of create it's almost like a dating site in a way for your clients, like in the most like platonic way possible, like you just want to put yourself out there, your interests have commonalities with people. And that goes with agents too in the referral business, because it's very passive. Like they'll see my stuff, I'll see their stuff. There's interaction there, but it's not in a sales approach. I don't consider myself very salesy. So to kind of have a constant interaction with people in a lifestyle sense, and even people coming to my page or seeing it, in different markets, other agents are like, oh, I relate, like I do similar stuff. I relate to them. Like I can take my client and I know that they're going to be in good hands because we seem like we're on the same page.
Awesome, Kelly. Thank you. I'm going to jump around a little bit just based on some of the questions I see in the chat. We've got a couple of questions about TikTok. We've got just questions for all of you, but so let's go a little bit deeper here in terms of like your business practice. And I'm assuming this is going to be yes for all of you, but can you attribute any of this growth directly to social? I want to go ahead and start with Kelly with that question.
Yeah, absolutely. My business wouldn't be where it's at if I didn't get the leads that I did, especially in the beginning from Instagram.
Kelly, can you talk to the group a little bit about, are you using the analytics off of Facebook and Instagram, or are you using something more robust? Like, how are you tracking those things? How are you identifying those leads are coming from social? Are they coming in from, Messenger?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, so I'll get messages directly through Instagram, and then I'll look at those analytics, and then most of the time I'll also see, someone will tag me in a post and we'll kind of interact that way, or I'll see someone who then reaches out to me like in an email, but they already followed me, so like connect the dots there. And then I also use questionnaires when I have new clients, and it at the bottom says like, how did you hear about us? And kind of link it that way too. So kind of a couple factors, but it's always like, where did you hear about me from? And then that kind of gets plugged into my my spreadsheet, keep track of everything.
So Bridget, how does the Ville team go about and track this type of activity?
So I think our big thing is open houses. I mean, there's 9 of us. We work open houses every single weekend. We're full-time brokers. We take the opportunity because we get the listings that we can do that. And even in this market, when it's crazy, we tend to hold off a little bit just to get those open houses in so we can meet those buyers. After we meet the buyers, we're having them sign in. They then are going into a platform called Sendinblue, which we send out every Friday. We touch base with every single person that walks through the door, with, basically our new listings, any kind of price changes or anything that's happening, and then inviting them to, continuous open homes. With that program, we can actually see who's opening it. We can also see who's clicking on certain things on different houses. So if one of our brokers is a listing agent on one of those houses and it's getting multiple clicks, we'll send that information directly to them so that they can contact them. So it's kind of an interesting way that you can kind of see the back end of it. It's not just an email that goes out that you wonder about and who's opening it. Is it even being, looked at? We can actually see that it's being looked at. It's been a great program for us.
Awesome. Caleb, so how are you going about tracking, and have you seen an increase in your business year over year based on your social media activity?
I keep track of all my closed and pending deals in different buckets, right? And one of them is social media / sphere. So, I mean, if it's probably 90%, right? Because you might have so-and-so who doesn't use anything, right? But at least 90% of my sphere is on social, and that's where I'm connecting with them. Starting when I started, I mean, social was day one. That's where I did probably 75% of my new client reach outs was on social media. So year over year, probably a 15 to 20% increase every year since I got started.
Okay, awesome. And Joseph?
So pretty much the same as everybody else, but obviously TikTok is my bread and butter. I mean, I sold last year over 10 million just from social media alone, and just from the one platform of TikTok. So what I have it done is I have it linked to where they can actually just click my website, and then from there they register. So they're doing my own CRM. It's pretty easy peasy. I mean, there's sometimes I get thousands of comments on some videos, and can I keep up? No, but you do your best, and just, again, the website tracks it, and that's where I use the true people who are serious, I like to say. Because if they're taking the time to give me their first and last name and their email, those are probably good candidates.
So I want to talk a little bit about like the day-to-day processes. In our conversations, as I was getting to know you all a little bit better, it was pretty evident to me that you invest a significant amount of time in planning. And so I would love, Joseph, I'd like you to kick this one off. Kind of walk us through that process. Like, how much time do you spend? How do you plan? How are you inspired? Where are you seeking your inspiration from? I know that you have a consistent platform. You do something pretty consistently, but I'd love for the audience to hear that process.
Definitely. It's a full-time job. And anybody who's telling you it's not, they're lying to your face. I probably dedicate 40 hours every 2 weeks, 40 hours a week to sometimes the most. I mean, I usually go out on Tuesdays or Thursdays and I film anywhere from 10 to 20 homes, and I just store it in my database. And it's a long time. I mean, the editing process, and now that I pivoted where I'm getting a little bit more faster with the video, I would say more high tech, where I have the gimbal and I'm going around. Yeah, it's a lot of time, but I'll do it all day and night. I mean, I believe money buys happiness. Sorry, it does in my world.
It does allow you to be who you want to be to a certain extent.
Oh, 100%. I mean, how I got inspired was I saw every agent post beautiful home coming soon, but they never would tell me the price. And I know that was their strategy to click it so they can get engaged. Well, I just said, what if I just put the price up front? And then they can start asking me how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just reversed it. I found what I didn't like and I made it available. So,
Caleb, can you talk to us a little bit about, same question?
This is why Joe had to switch up his style, because I copy people all the time. But similarly to you as well, a lot of times my stuff in Instagram stories is I'm only giving you the price. I'll give you the price and the location and nothing else. And the amount of traffic I'd get back from that, from either people who live in that same area who are saying, oh, wow, it's that much, or it's that little, it's that much. That's what the market we're in. Or people who want to get in that area. Oh, tell me more about that house. I'm kind of thinking about moving into that city. So great talking points from Joseph.
Thanks, Caleb. Hey, so Kelly, when we talked, you'd mentioned you have a consistent day of the week that you do your planning. And I would love for you to share that with the team.
Yeah. So when it comes to like feed posts, I found that, I mean, and I'm sure you guys all see this, that when you're busy, it's like, oh my God, now I'm like not getting the content that I should be getting. So I will sit on, Sunday evenings and have a glass of wine, do my posts, do my like comments and captions, and then have it set for the week. So I at least know that stuff is going out. And then anything that I can like put in stories in between is just like added bonus. But at least I know that I'm going to have some material going out there.
Okay. Bridget?
So again, I have my fantastic marketing director and she sits right behind my partner and I, Walt, every day in our office. So she is constantly posting all day long, 2 to 3 posts a day. She's doing coming soon. She's doing new listings under contract, sold. Not only that, but she's posting things about our team too, like meet the team members, and she'll highlight each team member. Those seem to be where we're getting the most hits and the most likes, are when we are posting things about our team members and about, so-and-so going out and showing homes and, carrying all of our bags, getting ready to go to a new listing. Even we'll post things when we're, at President's Club. We were at the Terranea in California with you, right? And we asked to go see some open houses in that area, and we were able to show those off as well, too. I just think anywhere you are, there's an opportunity to take advantage of it and start posting. I'm trying to get better at it. I think I've gotten a little bit lazy since our marketing director started, but she's constantly giving us all ideas as we're going somewhere to, hey, take a picture of that and send it to me and I'll post it. So I being relevant, always being in the eye, and always being on all these platforms, I think is really important.
So you bring up a good point. So I'm just curious, do you see a shift when you're posting just organically, like in the moment, on the fly? in terms of engagement versus when you've done something that's very well thought out and pre-planned? Do you see any sort of difference in engagement, or is it because you stay consistent with your brand and your theme that it's about the same? I'll just throw that out to the group.
Well, so I look at it as like your feed for me, like, or like your main platform is your thought out stuff that someone can look you up and see everything and get a really good idea. And then like the people who are already following you and like your past clients, things like that, those stories and those more interactive posts are for them. And so that kind of gauges their or creates more interaction from them. So I would say, I mean, that and the stories and things like that is going to cause more interaction overall, but you want to have something consistent that they can look up and just see what it all is.
Okay. Anyone else want to opine on that?
I think I would just summarize that, you know, your profile is like your resume. And then, you know, to piggyback on what Kelly said, then as you're constantly like, oh, showing a house or doing whatever in your stories, that's where they can quickly interact with you and then go check your resume quick. Okay, this is who this person is. Kelly's analogy of dating is perfect for Instagram, I think, and getting clients that way.
Awesome. Fantastic. So I'm going to go over to the chat for a few minutes now, and we're going to take some of these questions. Let's start off with Andy's question. It was the first question that came through. What do you find is the most effective way? Oh, there's Andy. Andy, if you want to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and ask the question yourself.
Hey there, everybody. Thanks for dedicating your time to sharing some of your experience with the rest of us. So I guess because I actually asked a couple of questions, but I guess the first one that you're referring to is what's the most effective way to market to people in your geographic area? I know some of you are like, if you're in Texas and you got people moving from everywhere, yeah, it's fine to get, spend a lot of time getting people from California and Florida, but I live in Milwaukee. Not a lot of people are moving here from those places. Okay. How do I how do I make sure that my content online is targeting to those people and I'm not kind of just like spitting in the ocean, and trying to build a following, or does that really matter? So I'll just take your opinion.
Who would like to jump in on that?
I think it's a really good question. I'll start, sorry. Hashtags. Use hashtags Milwaukee, hashtags Wisconsin, hashtag Minnesota is better than Wisconsin, something. Get funny with it, get creative with it, but that's how you're gonna emphasize on that little specific region that you want to focus on. So I would say hashtags and videos. Videos are, I personally feel videos are way better for your brand than a simple post. So
I think geotags, do a video at the most popular place in downtown Milwaukee would be the only thing I would add to, right? Or obviously do your listings too, but the tags.
I think if you're looking at like what to curate to like put stuff out there and have consistent content, you should I always tell people to create like an avatar of what is your client? Like, who are you? Like, who just comes to you naturally? Where are they at? What are they doing? Like, and kind of use that as a way to build content.
All good. Moving on to the next question. Brought to us by Rachel. Rachel, we're going to invite you to unmute yourself and ask the next question. Wait for it. It's going to be just a second. Second question would be Rachel. So it's with TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and ask it for you. With TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, etc., are you just posting about real estate, or what are your topics to get attention? Let's go ahead and Bridget, you want to take that one?
Sure. I mean, we like to dance on Fridays. So, everybody knows, right? And my partner, I think, is the best dancer around. And he gets the most followers. I can hear everybody laughing, and the office is next to me. But He's pretty fantastic. And I think that he brightens everyone's day on Friday. If he has a closing that week, everyone looks forward to it. But we have actually gotten listings through our dances. It's kind of crazy, I know, but people will say, hey, list my house, but I get to pick the dance that you guys danced at the end, dance to at the end. So it's kind of fun. But I think, back to the question, I mean, all of those platforms are fantastic, right? But I think the TikTok thing now is just exploding. So it's just fun to kind of do those fun things and become more relatable to your clients and your customers. You can be real kind of stuffy sometimes in that luxury market. And I think people can relate to us more. We get listings all over the board. We're also doing commercial rentals as well too. So it kind of gets us out there. And I think people actually follow us because they just want to see us be silly and dance on Fridays, right? So it works.
As I was saying, as we kicked off, I really was inspired when I started watching and following you all. I felt a little bit like a stalker. I'm not going to lie. It was a little odd. But you brought joy to my day because you're truly passionate about that. So, and dancing is always a good thing. It's never a bad thing to dance.
Right.
So
whether you're good or you're bad, right? Yeah.
Well, again, I think the approachability is what makes each of these individuals that's on this panel so powerful, is that they're approachable and you feel it when you're following them. So that's what's so cool about it all. Anybody else want to take that in terms of like, are you more real estate? Are you more personal? Is it a perfect blend in terms of what you post? Anybody want to jump in on that?
I go back to what Joseph said about how, you're at, like, everybody like posts their listing or do that. You got to figure out a way to be different than that. And video is a great way to counteract it. And then a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people want to like the person that they're working with, right? So I'm usually posting real estate, family, or hobby, and then back to real estate, then family, then hobby. That's kind of been my keep it simple strategy.
Awesome. So we've got a specific question for Joseph, brought to us by Joe Brahman. Joe, we'll invite you to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask Joseph the question directly.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. So we were wondering what it is you do specifically on a day-to-day basis to stay on trend.
Great question. I follow the big people. I follow the people who have hundreds and millions of followers. What are they doing? I copy not what they're doing, but I make it related to real estate. So if there's a big song that's going viral right now, I'm using that song. If there is a trend that's going on with quote unquote, like some dancing, I mean, I don't dance, but I'll use the trend for the video. Just see what's going out there. And sometimes I create my own stuff and that blows up too. So just following what everyone's doing. There's a reason why certain videos get millions of views.
Thanks so much, Joseph. Let's go over to Mickey for a second. Mickey's got a question about social accounts, and I think I'd like to see us go around the horn as to which type of account you have. Mickey, we're going to go ahead and you can go ahead and ask the question if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. So my question is, do you guys use a personal account, a business account, or do you use both? Because I kind of find myself like it's stale on the business page, but it's more like realistic who I am on my personal page. And I definitely get more engagement on my personal page. So I just didn't know what you guys do.
I can kind of chime in here. When I first started 8 years ago, I was using my personal page. And then probably about 3 years after that, I started the business page. The reason for it was just the amount of followers I didn't know on my personal page. It was making me a little uncomfortable, with my family and my kids. So I definitely think the business page is the way to go. There's a lot more that you can do with it, for instance, like on Facebook. And then what we do with our team is our marketing director posts on the business page, and then we all share it on our personal pages, all of the brokers on the team. So it kind of gets the name out there, and then we try to redirect them directly to our business page.
Anybody else want to jump in there?
Great question, first and foremost. On Facebook, I have both a business and personal. Instagram, it's business, and TikTok, it's business only, period.
Caleb?
Facebook is both. Instagram's personal, and I'm personally toying with the idea of when I go business on Instagram.
And then Kelly?
I have personal and business for Facebook, Instagram's business, and my TikTok's business.
Okay. So just a couple of things I want to read off in the chat. There's some love here for organic CRM. A lot of love for that. A dating site for clients. Showing some love for that. And then there's a rather lengthy one. So I'd love to have Andy join us to kind of walk through. There you are. Back again. Welcome back, Andy. Go ahead and unmute yourself, and why don't you go ahead and ask the panel this question, and we'll throw this out to the group.
I'm just at the
I am
go back and read my question real quickly. Sorry.
I'm referring to a lot of the agents.
Oh, sure. Yeah, because actually we love that these roundtables are offered to us, and a lot of times it takes through the questions is where we get actionable items and stuff that actually people who don't have views of millions to really get started. And I'm just wondering if you guys, because there's a lot of people out there just getting started with this, and what are some actionable items that you think from the beginning are ways for us to build our audience, turn that into a steady flow of business, and really to set goals for ourselves, like what's realistic for because you hear about people having 1 million followers on TikTok. Well, that's not realistic for me to think that that's going to happen in the next month. So what is a success in terms of those things, because we have to wait for the results to come much later from building the audience. So we have to have like some sort of goals and milestones along the way to know that we're on the right track. Does that make sense?
Hey, Joseph, would you mind retelling the story about the pandemic and how long you've been on TikTok? Because I'm all about setting.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, good question. I'm sorry, I forgot the guy's name, but I started with nothing, 0. I think everybody on this panelist started with maybe a handful of followers. So again, it was 2020. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm admitting defeat. I was like, I guess I'll find something else to do. I thought the market was going to tank. Clearly, I was wrong. And so I got up and I started filming new build homes. And I did it consistently. I can't scream this loud enough to the world. You have to do it consistently, especially when you're new. You better be posting 3 times a day minimum to build your audience. If you don't post, you're doing yourself the biggest disservice of your life. Post at 10 o'clock before everyone's at work, they're getting bored, they're scrolling through your feed. Post at 1 o'clock, and I like to post at 7 o'clock at night. My TikTok, that was a little bit different because you're right, now I do have a steady following. I only need to post maybe 1 a day. Sometimes I do 2. But you have to do it. If you don't do it, I'm going to do it, and I'll take all the business. You know what I mean? And there's so much business for everybody to have a part of the pie, but you have to do it. Just do it. Film something because somebody might think it's the most interesting thing in the world. You have to just do it. I can't scream it loud enough.
Caleb, Kelly, Bridget?
I can add that when you're new in the business, it can feel very overwhelming to define your success, because true success is a closing, right? Or a sale. But I mean, you're not going to have that every day. Even if you're a top producer, you're not going to close something every day. So for me, when I was new, it was either 3 posts, like Joseph said, or I relate back to my core values, which is being a shipbuilder, right? Okay, I need to build 3 relationships today. If I get 3 followers today on Instagram, I had a good day, right? Like reverse engineer it, define what your success is. And before you know it, you'll have your following. And you can have, 1 million followers, but you really only need 200 really good followers, and you will have an amazing real estate business.
Kelly, Bridget?
I think starting from nothing, it's an accomplishment to start, to like get something on there. So because so many people are looking at people online, and to have anything and build from that is great, because there's a chance that one person is going to find that, or you're going to reconnect with someone who you haven't talked to in 5-7 years. So I think making small steps towards that, and then even consistency is really key, but take time out of your day and time block for that, because it's just like prospecting. So you should really be scheduling for that throughout your week, and you'll see the results. I think so many times you hear that, oh, I just don't have time for that, or I'm too busy. I mean, video is not my strong suit. I don't feel comfortable on video, so I probably take more time on that than others, but like, just time block yourself.
Thanks for that, Kelly. I think, there's a consistent theme there. One is consistency. Time blocking is huge, and everything these individuals do, and anything any of our successful agents are doing, it comes down to time blocking and prioritizing, and getting it done and making time for it, doing some of the harder things first, and then moving on to the other things, right? Here's a question that Kathy, and I'm going to just go ahead and toss it out to the group, regarding seller and buyer permission before promoting any videos. So what is your process? Joseph, I know you're doing a lot of, what is this home worth? Bridget, you've done some things. What exactly is that process? Do you reach out to the listing broker? Can you kind of elaborate on that for the group?
So yes, again, 90% of what I film is new home builds. So I have not had one builder say, no, you cannot film here. It's free marketing and advertising. But yes, I do get permission from the sellers and the listing agent just to confirm that everything is okay to post. I've only had a few times where they actually say no, and that's usually the big multi-million-dollar neighborhoods. They want to meet them. Sometimes they just don't care. I don't care how many followers you have. I don't want to do it. So, but yeah, I don't really get permission from the new builds because they don't care either too. So.
Anyone else want to opine on that? How are you going about that process?
I mean, we're really careful with ours, with what we're posting, what pictures we're using, what videos we're using. We only use our own listings. Anything that we've already sold, the photography that we bought, right? We own it. And we're really careful with that about, not giving that out to people either. So, I think we work really hard to get the listings and to get these home buyers to get, purchasing these houses. And we want to just kind of take advantage of the fact that we brought that deal together. And so that's how we're using we use all of our own stuff, basically.
Okay. So we've got a question here. I'm going to ask Chris, and I apologize, I'm not going to pronounce your last name correctly, but I believe is it Hawk? Can you go ahead and unmute and ask your question, please? Can I unmute him? Chris, I can go ahead and ask that question for you. What is the purpose of 1 million viewers? Is the site generating, we lost Chris. What is the purpose of 1 million viewers? Is the site generating more revenue than real estate sales? Is it necessary to have 1 million followers to do 150 deals a year? Who would like to jump in on that one? It's a numbers game, right?
Right. I don't think you don't need, I have 151,000 followers on TikTok. Would I love 1 million? Yes. Do I need 1 million? No. Because if I keep doing what I'm doing, and even if it plateaus and stays the same, I'm good to go. Yeah, that's a good question. It's the more engagement you get on the video. I mean, I love it when people go on my post and they make it either political or they twist their own word. That's great, because the more comments you do, the more it just pushes out to the algorithm, picks it up. So it's great. So it's just, I don't know. It's just do it.
I think it's a percentage. I think it's a percentage thing. You know, if you have 1,000 followers and you're getting 20 likes, those followers don't really mean anything, right? So I can't speak to, I've never had 1 million followers, 1 million views, so I can't necessarily speak to that. But I think more is not bad, right? But definitely to Joseph's point, the engagement, the relationships that you're creating with people.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you. So here's a question coming to us from Sandra Edwards. Can we get Sandra to go live? Wait for it. Here she comes. There she is. Hi, Sandra.
I just have a question. I'm very shy, but I sound young, but I'm actually a senior. And been in the business for a while. Haven't had great numbers, been successful and comfortable. Maybe I want to get out my comfortability, but as I said, I'm a senior. But what equipment do you all use? Do you just use your cell phone cameras, lighting? What do you use when you make your videos? And I want to know about the open house, that blue, whatever someone spoke about that they use. I think it's Bridget that you use someone uses at their open house. So that's my question. But I've been teased about my voice since I was a kid, and I'm very shy. Don't want to get out there for that reason.
I think you should use that as a, okay, sorry, go ahead. I feel like we're probably on the same page.
Right. Did you want to go first?
No, it's all you, go.
Okay, so I hate the sound of my voice, so I completely know what you're going through. I sound different in person. I'm really nasally, okay? So I get it. So I hate it when I have to talk on film. I hate it. So I don't do it. I just film a house. That's all I do. Very rarely I did in the beginning where I would have like me and my lender, we would kind of going back and forth asking questions, but I felt those weren't just not that engaging. So I just film what they want to see. They don't want to see me. They want to see the house. Do I use special stuff? Yes. I mean, I have a gimbal, I have lighting, I have microphones, you name it. I go above and beyond, but yeah, this little guy is what I film everything with. We all have them, and the quality it's there. You know what I mean? So yeah, just cell phone, but yeah, I have lighting and the gimbal. It's a little high tech, but it makes really a good video. So.
Anyone else want to jump in there?
I was actually going to say you should lean in to your voice because it's unique. And when you're doing video, it would stand apart from other people. So I think you should just embrace that. And I think it would actually like stand apart.
I love that. Being who you are and just being you is going to resonate because it's who you are. And people will be attracted to that. So love that. Lean in on it. I think that's fantastic. Sticking with that, we had someone, I'm going to shift gears for just a second, have a question regarding Coldwell Banker and how you leverage the brand through social in building relationships, because you do work with such a universally known brand? Who would like to take that one?
I can speak on it. I love obviously the global luxury aspect of our brand too. So we do a lot with sharing the post that Coldwell Banker puts out. We'll definitely share all of that. I love the new Dream campaign. I think that's amazing. I mean, we've always been talking back and forth about how are we going to get more listings, right? And I love the fact that they're coming out with that, with the commercial about, dream, where do you want to live? Where do you want to end up? So we kind of are talking a little bit more on that in our team meetings as to how we can make an impact and kind of share that with our followers and with our, clients as well too, to get more listings. But I think the global luxury and Coldwell Banker in general, I mean, it's a fantastic brand. We're obviously top notch, and I love all the posts. We definitely share everything that comes through as well too. I think
Okay.
something important to do that.
Caleb, Joseph, Kelly, anybody want to opine?
I mean, just obviously I share stuff to a point, but it's hashtags. I'm a firm believer on hashtags. I mean, that's how people, if they're looking at Coldwell Banker and they're going to see me and they see that I have all these posts related to it, hashtag Coldwell Banker all the day.
Would
Thank
say
you for that.
lean into your market's market share, right? So what does your brokerage do really well in your market? And then if you get one of those listings, go hard in there with the hashtags and posting, because your market might be awesome at luxury, or you really own this part of, like, we do all the new builds for this builder, right? So it just kind of depends what market you're in, but then lean in where Coldwell Banker is strong.
Yep. I would love for the audience to just throw up some of their favorite real estate hashtags, just so we could share with this entire group. So if you've got any that you'd like to share, we'd love to see them. I want to go back to this one question, because I think that so many of us, you're looking at a group of panelists right now that are very calm and composed, and they're accustomed to being in front of the camera. But the reality of it is, to some of the viewers' point, even myself, we have bouts of nervousness or discomfort in putting ourselves on camera. So is there something you do to get into the mindset and just get over that mental block to become more comfortable on social or on camera, quite frankly? Just throwing it out to the group.
I think no matter what.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, please go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, you're going to get comments either way. But if you're doing it and it's showing results, and the people who are making the negative comments, and that, which I think is what people are worried about when they're putting themselves out there, or like seeing that, they're not the ones collecting the check and having the clients. So I think you just have to look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I always say sometimes with social media, hate mail is a good thing, right? You haven't necessarily made it until you're getting a little bit of hate mail. So you take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
5.5 out of 5 looks bad, but 4.9 is a really nice restaurant, right?
We've got Norma, who has asked, she would like to, sorry, my eyes, goodness gracious. She'd like to find a quick and easy way to create daily videos. Anyone have a preferred method of doing that outside of maybe just using your phone?
I mean, I don't think anything is quick and easy. I think if it was quick and easy, we all would be retired just off social media alone. Again, I just film a house. I film the front of that. Everybody go follow me first and foremost. Go follow me. Felling is selling, and you'll see what I do. I just do it consistently every day. So that's it. I mean, is it easy? Now it is, because I can do it. I have it down to a science. I can post a video within a minute, but in the beginning, gosh, I'm a perfectionist. Like, this must be perfect, but again, just film it. Film yourself. Somebody might find it interesting, and who knows, you might be that one case that blows up.
Anybody else?
You mentioned the science of it, Joseph. I usually say you're either sharpening your axe or you're using it. And when you're brand new, just use your axe, right? And over time, take those time periods off to sharpen it. And okay, I want to make my video this way. I want to do it this way, but definitely just action. Just got to do it.
So we're getting some great hashtags. Start packing, call McCracken, the Olivia Pope of real estate, CB Rocks, yes. And then we've got some love, I believe, for Sandra's voice, which is awesome. We have some comments about, are any of you using voiceovers? I'm seeing a lot of that right now. So I would imagine in the very near future, I will see some of you using voiceovers, but to, each and every one of them, of our panelists, what they're saying is that, the cool thing about social is that you can watch it. And you can learn by just watching it and following people. And, it's the highest form of flattery. And you can learn a lot just from this group that's with us today. Here's some more hashtags: CB Realty, Coldwell Banker, Realtor, Real Estate. Oh, here's a question. For those that have vision problems, is it best to get, clearly I'm struggling with that this morning. For those that have vision problems, is it best to capitalize the first letter of each word in a hashtag? Any thoughts on that?
I'm not reading hashtags. I'm using hashtags so that I can capture people who follow those hashtags, if that makes sense.
Yep. Awesome. Here's another one. How's the market? Hate mail is a good thing. So true. Got a couple of questions of Send in Blue, which I believe ties back to Bridget.
Yeah, so Send in Blue is just a platform that you can use to put all your contacts in. It's a monthly amount that you would pay, and that's how you would set up all your emails that go out to your contact list. It's just a kind of nice platform. I know it's in addition to what Coldwell Banker already offers, but I like it just because we can actually see who's opening it. You get a report at the end of every weekend after you send it out that kind of shares that information. You can see how many people unsubscribed also, but most importantly, you can see what they're clicking on, which then helps you to, make that call and follow up with them, which is important.
Awesome. So we are down to our last 3 minutes. So I wanted to just go around to the group one more time. I have one final question. What do you know about social media today that you wish you knew when you started integrating it into your business? And I understand you've all integrated it into your business when you began, but if you could give one tip to our participants, what would it be? Caleb, we'll start with you.
Stealing Joseph's, be more consistent.
What's that?
I'm going to steal Joseph's, and it's
Thank you.
Be more consistent.
Awesome. Bridget?
I think it's good to be touch everything, right? So, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Now we're on, we have a great channel on YouTube. We post, all of our videos of all of our listings. We actually have a sold category, a playlist, and then we have the most, active listings that we have. So we get a lot of followers. I know we haven't talked very much about YouTube today. I'm even on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. We just did a team page on LinkedIn as well. So I think it's just I wish I would have known about all these other places that I could have been posting. I think in the beginning, I was just mainly on Facebook. So now I think it's nice to broaden yourself, spread it out, spread the love.
Joseph?
Real simple. I wish I would have got on social media sooner. That's it. I wish I would have started way before the pandemic, because I can only imagine where I would have been at if I embraced Instagram prior, you know what I mean? And not just posting, of your dog, stuff like that. So I wish I would have done it earlier.
And Kelly?
Well, I wish I would have gotten the TikTok in the early days, but I think anytime there's a new platform, just jumping on it right away.
Okay. Awesome. So there we have it. Thank you again to our panelists. Thank you all so much for being here today and being absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate it. We all appreciate it. One thing I want to point out, today was our 4th installment. On May 17th, Brian Bollier, our regional vice president from Minnesota, will be doing our 5th installment around branding. So please keep your eyes peeled, put a hold in your calendar. I hope you're as inspired as I am to step outside of your comfort zone. Bridget, Caleb, Joseph, and Kelly take different approaches and methods, and they are all knocking it out of the park. It's just another reminder that there is not just one way of doing things. But the one thing is certain, if you don't try, you won't know. So just go out there and do it. Happy posting, everyone. CB proud. I heart CB. Make it happen. Have an awesome rest of your week. Great seeing you all. Take care.
Bye.